Rome loved its rules almost as much as its blood. There was a rule for everything: how to die, how to cheer, and who was allowed to swing a sword. Women, according to every senator with a beard and an opinion, were supposed to applaud from the stands, not spill blood in the sand. And yet, somewhere between dusk and disobedience, the sound of iron began to ring in secret courtyards. By torchlight they trained slaves, noble women, debtors, wanderers. They wrapped their hands in linen, tied back their hair, and learned how to strike without apology. The city slept above them. The sand waited below. The Ludius was supposed to be a man's domain. Sweat, discipline, and the occasional reminder that the rent for existing was pain. But some trainers, usually veterans too broke or too drunk to care about politics, took coin from anyone who could hold a blade. And so the Gladiatrices were born, forged in quiet defiance. They wore armor cut down from fallen soldiers, helmets far too large, and practiced until the bruises lined up like trophies. They learned every trick: how to read the crowd, how to survive the first strike, how to make victory look inevitable. One instructor said, "If Rome won't give you a name, take theirs when you beat them." History forgot his name, too. Fitting symmetry. The first time the gates opened for a woman, the crowd gasped loud enough to scare the gods. Trumpets blared, sand shimmered, and two figures stepped out, one tall, one scarred, both fearless. For a heartbeat, the empire froze. Then someone laughed, because nothing unsettles Rome like surprise. The fight began. Steel flashed in the sunlight. She feinted, pivoted, drove her blade home, and the laughter died faster than the man she struck. When she raised her sword, the Colosseum roared. Somewhere in the imperial box, a senator spilled his wine in outrage. Progress often starts with someone cleaning up after it. Soon, emperors discovered that scandal sells. Posters went up promising Amazonia versus the Nubian huntress. Equal parts history and marketing. The crowds doubled. The betting lines tripled. For every cheer of admiration, there was a whisper of threat. Rome had learned a dangerous truth. Courage doesn't ask permission. Some gladiatrices fought beasts, others fought men. A few fought each other in duels, staged to please the mob. They were novelty, myth, rebellion, and advertisement all at once. Even the poets couldn't decide whether to condemn them or write odes. One wrote, "She struck like Mars, but smiled like Venus." Rome was never more confused. Inevitably, senators panicked. Honor, they said, was unraveling. Tradition was bleeding out on the sand. So the decrees came down. No women may bear arms in the arena. Officially, it was about morality. Unofficially, it was about control. Rome didn't mind women dying in childbirth, just not in armor. The gladiatrices vanished from the programs overnight. Some returned to slavery, others to anonymity. A few slipped away into mercenary bands along the frontiers, where the empire still needed killers but not paperwork. Their stories survive only in fragments, a mosaic showing two women dueling, labeled Amazonia and Achillea. A broken lamp carved with the figure of a female fighter raising her sword. A senator's speech grumbling that even women now seek the glory of the arena. He meant it as an insult. History took it as proof. Archaeologists find their echo scratches on tombstones, scars on statues, defiance trapped in dust. You can almost hear them still, laughing somewhere beneath the ruins, waiting for another gate to open. Every woman who's ever stood her ground carries a spark from that arena. The weapons have changed, words, laws, revolutions, but the stance is the same. Feet planted, eyes forward, fear irrelevant. Rome tried to erase them because memory is power. But legend is a terrible thing to outlaw. It always finds another storyteller. They fought the Empire's expectations and won. Step into the sand once more, in tales of the arena Gladiatrix roams, forbidden fighters, where history bleeds into legend.